Welcome back to our next video. In front of you is a giant buzzing beehive. Have you ever imagined yourself hanging from a towering tree branch? Just one slip and you will fall into the abyss, while all around you are thousands of bees buzzing to protect the hive. No net, no professional protection, just a bundle of smoke, a knife, and a belief that you will collect honey without being stung to exhaustion by the bees. It is not just a job to make a living. With each heavy step on the rotten leaves, we crossed the dark green Sumatera forest, where there were only the calls of wild birds and the wind blowing through the old trees. There was no GPS, no map. The only thing that guided us was our intuition and many years of experience in the forest. I still remember clearly the feeling of my heart pounding when I heard the familiar, buzzing sound, a sign that a wild beehive was nearby. It was a magical harmony of nature. Not everyone could feel it, but once they recognized it, it was like a signal from heaven, telling me, the treasure is right ahead. Before my eyes was a magical sight, a giant beehive, hanging on a branch leaning close to the water. What was special was that the nest had two large honey sacs, as shiny as two natural milk breasts, less than a hand's breadth from the water surface. Each sac weighed about 4 kilograms, and the honey oozed out, glistening, dripping like drops of gold. This is no ordinary beehive. It is a wonder of the jungle. The wild bee is the largest species of bee in Asia, usually living on trees 10 to 40 meters high. They do not build nests in boxes like domesticated bees, but build a single large comb, suspended like a giant fan in the sky. They choose places where there are no people, no dust, no engine noise, which means you can only find the hive in deep forests and poisonous water. Each nest can contain from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of bees. They are ready to rush out to protect the nest at any time if they feel threatened. Harvesting hive nests is not easy. If you lack experience, you can be stung until you faint or get lost in the forest because of panic. That is why this job is not for the faint-hearted. I never take the entire hive. We only take the old honey sac, the part filled with honey but without larvae or eggs. This way, we ensure that the bees can still reproduce. The nest can still develop, and nature is not destroyed by human greed. We used smoke from the slowly burning bark of rotten trees to calm the bees. Not to chase away, but to negotiate. When the smoke spread, the bees temporarily withdrew, as if they understood. This person is not here to destroy, but only to take a small part of the natural treasure. Under the tropical sunset, I carefully used a sharp knife to make a light incision into the honey sac. The honey that glistened like amber oil poured out, thick, fragrant with the scent of forest pollen. Each drop fell into the container like drops of gold, precious, pure, and richer than any other farmed honey on the market. Honey gathering is an art, not an act of appropriation. People can easily cut down the whole tree branch, bring the whole hive back and destroy it to get the honey. Fast, neat, but in return is irreparable destruction. A beehive is destroyed. A colony of bees loses its shelter, and the lifeline of the forest is broken. But I am different. I come to bargain, not with people, but with nature. We only take the ripe honey sacs. That is, the honey that has reached a thick, dark amber color, but has no eggs or larvae inside. Because if we take the young part, the bees will have no source of nourishment for the larvae, which means they will abandon the hive. Or worse, die slowly in despair. Determining which is the mature honey sac cannot be done by eye without experience. It takes feeling. It takes a keen sense of hearing to hear the rumbling sounds inside the hive. It takes empathy with the biological rhythms of the bees, as if we were part of it. And when we identify the right part to harvest, we do not rush in like predators. I hold a thin knife, the tip worn by the repeated contact with the hive. Making a light incision, like touching a spider's web, I cut out a part of the old honey sac. From the incision, honey slowly oozes out, thick, shimmering like amber oil, fragrant with the scent of forest pollen mixed with a bit of warm smoke. Each drop falls into the wooden barrel like drops of gold. There is no sound, but in my heart, soft drums are beating, drums of happiness, of gratitude, and of respect. You can find many types of honey beautifully packaged on the supermarket shelves. But nothing compares to honey that has survived many dangers, created with sweat, patience and respect for Mother Nature. Wild honey is truly more than just food. It is a witness to a symbiotic relationship between humans and the forest. On one side is the forester who knows how to keep his limits. On the other side is nature willing to give him the most precious thing, if we know how to bow our heads humbly. I don't harvest honey like a robber. I go like a pilgrim, to ask for a portion of the forest's bounty, with hands that know how to keep their limits and a heart that knows how to listen. Because I believe that when we know enough, nature will give us more. Please subscribe to my channel to give me more motivation for the next trips. Please like the video, comment your feelings, I read everything, line by line. Each subscription, each view, to me is not just a number, but a message. Keep going. We are following your journey.